And guys, we move to some controversial news out of Nike. The company is yanking a USA-themed sneaker featuring a Betsy Ross flag after Colin Kaepernick told the company it shouldn't sell a shoe with a symbol that he and others find offensive since it's linked to racism. Now, Nike had stores return the shoes and they're not available on Nike apps or websites. So to discuss this, I had to bring in SiriusXM's Mike Muse. Yes. Very glad to see you.
So happy to be here today.
I need you to break this down because this is controversial.
Yeah.
One reason is because the suggestion is coming from Kaepernick, who is also a controversial figure and has been after kneeling at the national anthem and so forth. So tell me what you think about this.
Colin Kaepernick has become such a lightning rod for Americans, and it becomes very polarizing for a lot of Americans. But one thing you will have to agree is that he's not afraid to use his voice, and he's not afraid to stand up for something, and he's not afraid to call things out as he sees it. He saw this as this Betsy Ross flag that has been co-opted by white nationalist movements as a way to kind of show their disdain for this inclusionary that has become America. And for the fact for Nike to use this flag as a way to celebrate 4th of July and Independence Day, I find actually troubling. Because why would you use a flag that is so controversial and not actually use the standard American flag that we have? And so I think we're getting to a very slippery slope as we begin to define patriotism, as we begin to define what is patriotism, and as we begin to find what does patriotism even look like. To use the 13 stars that represent the colonies, that really represent a troubled time for U.S. history, that really involves slavery at its core, why would you choose to use that to celebrate American freedom? Why would you use that to signify this day? We're supposed to be all unified as one patriotism, right, of what it means to be an American when that is so divisive for a lot of individuals. For me, this Betsy Ross flag is the new Confederate flag, right, disguised with the stars and the stripes and the colors, but kind of has the same context and the same meaning that it has. But to go further, actually, is did Betsy Ross even create this? You know, I saw Governor Ducey from Arizona talking, he did a tweet series today talking about learning your history and who Betsy Ross really is. Well, I'd like for him to do his research too as well, because every scholar has said that there is no evidence that she actually created this flag. If you want to honor Betsy Ross, you should do it in a different manner, in a different way. But then to go further with that too as well, the U.S. code, the U.S. flag code says that we should not sell any type of flag for merchandising. So I'm always curious about how we're really finding what is acceptable, right?
I want to ask you something, because there's been a number of companies who've been in hot water because of tone deaf ads or these, controversial products. You know, this is a situation where someone actually came forward and tried to stop it. So what would have happened if Kaepernick said nothing? There was no one in the PR or advertising meeting that said, don't do this. And they actually put the shoe out and it was selling. What do you think would have happened?
It would have been more difficult in terms of the level of conversation that would have arose in America. Once this shoe began to hit market on the shelves, it would have been more of a conundrum for Nike in order to what do they do in that moment? Do they pull off the shoes off the shelves after the shoes have already been in circulation, and then where do they go from here? But it goes to your point, what you're asking for, who on the inside is actually advocating. So when you talk about diversity and inclusion, when you talk about having a seat at the table, when you talk about having different voices and representations that matter in order to prevent this from happening, there should have been someone in that room, in that marketing room, in that product design room that says, wait, why even use this flag that is so controversial? Why don't we just use the traditional American flag? So for me, it goes to the core of Nike, right? In terms of where is Nike's position? And listen, this is my own opinion, but I really believe Nike probably has an internal debate they're having amongst themselves. Are we being viewed as too liberal? Are we being viewed as too progressive? Do we need to lean in more to the conservative side of it, right? Instead of just being American and just using the American flag. And so as corporate social responsibility moves forward, I'm doing a deep dive on my show tomorrow about the role of corporate social responsibility. They have to be mindful of their role and how they really do aggregate discourse and conversation within America. But I think it's a failure on Nike's part that they would even issue this type of flag to begin with.
Mike Muse, glad you were here.
Yeah.
Conversation starter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Of course.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.